Hello and welcome to the Downsized Dish. My name is Laraine Durham and welcome to the Downsides, the channel where we talk about GLP-1 weight loss and everything related. Today we're talking to Michelle Nedwick. Welcome, Michelle, to the Downsize. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
That's great. Awesome. Doing great. Before we get started, please, if you haven't already, please click like and subscribe to our channel. That helps YouTube recommend us to other people who are looking for information on GLP-1s. Also, just want to put the disclaimer out there that I am not a doctor and this is not medical advice. So if you are starting a weight loss plan or thinking of starting one, please consult your healthcare professional. Okay, well, let's get started. Michelle, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you are in your journey.
Okay. Well, I'm 56. I just turned 56 in September. Thank you. And I'm an attorney. I'm a prosecutor in the city I live. So that can be fun and stressful all at the
Yeah.
same time. I work full time. I have two adult children. My daughter's 28. She just got married this last month,
Oh,
September
nice.
14th. And
Congratulations.
thanks. And my son is 25. He still lives at home,
All right. Well, very
but
good.
we're
You had
working on
You had a big September.
it. And then as far as my journey with GLP-1s, I'm relatively recent. I just started. I took my first shot on August 15th. And but I'm no newbie to dieting. I think I have been on every single one you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us about some of the diets you've been on in the past.
So, like I was telling you earlier, I wish sometimes I could go back and slap myself when I was younger because I really thought I was, fat. But I'm 5'3". In high school, I probably hovered around 130 as an adult before children. In the 130s, I always thought I was chubby. And so I would do different diets here and there, but and I also worked out a lot. I was very active. I was a cheerleader in high school. I loved doing exercise videos, or I used to love doing exercise videos. We grew up in the late 80s. That
Yeah,
was when
Jane
that was
Fonda.
great.
I did that Jane Fonda video like a
Yeah.
zillion times.
I remember doing Richard Simmons to the TV in my living room when I was
Yes,
in high school.
yes, I did too. Yeah, that's funny.
Um, but I went to Weight Watchers after I had my first child, my daughter,
Mhm.
and I was like 140. I was like maybe a pound over my, normal weight category.
Yeah.
I'm sure people wanted to slap me as well. But but actually I met, if you've ever watched my channel, I'd mention my best friend Gina. I met her at Weight Watchers and we've remained fast
Ah,
friends ever since.
that's great.
So but anyway, so I became a lifetime member, went back after the birth of my son 3 years later. And probably my 30s was my healthiest as far as I was working out.
Yeah,
I was probably hovering right around 125, to 130. And
yeah.
then, and then life happens. I got divorced in 2007. And while our split was fairly amicable and we get along great, it's stressful.
Right.
And I had sick parents. I
Mm.
lost my mom in '09.
Oh, I'm
She was
sorry.
actually a type 1 diabetic.
Huh.
So my whole life she was on insulin. So I'd always see her giving herself a shot every day.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it just started creeping back up. I did still keep working out, but I started finding myself creeping back into the 140s and then eventually the 150s, and eventually the 160s. And my highest weight was probably 3 years ago. And I reached 191. And on a 5'3" frame, that's, you
That's a
know.
lot. Yeah, for sure. Mhm.
So, so I did try Weight Watchers over and over. I mean, over and over. I would
Yeah.
try it. I did a diet called the fast metabolism diet. Have you
Oh, I
ever?
did that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the
Actually,
raspberries and the
yeah, and I mean, but it's very like it's
Yep.
all organic whole foods, but
Yeah.
you like carb cycle. Like
Yep.
a couple days you eat a lot of fruits and whole grains, and then a couple days you eat just lean meats and lean vegetables, and then you add in some fats, and but
Yeah.
it's very structured.
Yeah.
And I was able to go in 2014, so 10 years ago, from around 160 to 140.
Okay.
And then and then from there on, I've just crept back up.
Uh,
My body likes to hover around the low 180s.
yeah. I find
And
I like my body has that kind of point it always goes back to. Yeah.
yeah. And then I found a program called Optavia. And and I have a YouTube channel. And if some of your viewers have seen me, I started out doing videos for Optavia. And I'm not
Ah,
going to make this whole video about that, but basically it's prepackaged food.
gotcha.
Um, most of it, it's not like Nutrisystems. You don't get meals. You
Okay.
get like packets that you make
Yeah.
and stuff,
Are they
shakes,
high
bars.
protein? They're everything's
Yes,
high protein? Yeah.
yes,
I
yeah,
did a like physician's weight loss or one of those. I think I did something like that.
yeah. And I was really successful with that when I started. I started that in July of 22. And I started with another YouTuber, Ashley Kisner. She does Optavia, and she was a great coach. And I lost 25 pounds, which I do have to say, disclaimer, Optavia 5-in-1 program is what I was on. The average weight loss is 12 pounds in 12 weeks. So not everybody loses 25 pounds, but if you
Right.
follow it, it's very, it's very structured.
Yeah.
And then in October of 2022, I got a breast cancer diagnosis.
Oh, no.
And I just had a routine mammogram. And luckily, it was early stages. It was
Mm.
actually stage 0, which is,
Wow.
if you have to have
Yeah.
cancer, I suppose you want stage 0.
Of course.
So, but I mean, it was so stressful. And I had
Mhm.
by then lost my dad as well.
Mm.
Um, I don't have any siblings, so it was a hard time because, I had to be strong for everybody else. Like I couldn't fall apart because then my kids would be upset.
Yeah.
And I've been dating the same guy. His name is Mike for almost 11 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We don't live together, although we're working on that. He had
Right.
custody when we started dating. He had a teenage son that lived with him, and my kids were at home, and it just was something we didn't want to blend right then and there. But
Right.
his sister passed away from breast cancer, so
Oh, no.
even though he was extremely supportive, I felt like I really had to be strong for him as well.
Yeah.
So I internalized all my stress
Uh,
and slowly gained back most of the weight. And
aw.
then I kept trying Optiv. I knew the program had worked for me at one
Yeah.
point, but it's so structured and it really, I think, started messing with my mind. Like, if you go off of it or you eat something that isn't on plan, then, oh, I blew it. Well,
All
I
or
might as
nothing.
well
Yeah.
have a pizza or I might as
Yeah.
well have that wine I want. And,
Yeah.
I'll start
Yep.
again on Monday,
Right.
well, and so probably for the last 2 years or so, I've just been gaining and losing the same 20 pounds.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
but what I was finding, and Mike's a dear. He'll never complain to my face. But I don't know when you were doing your different diets if you were like this as well. But I started viewing events like something bad, like something I dreaded because
Yeah.
what am I going to do? What am I going to eat? Am I going to go off my diet?
Yeah.
And almost dreading vacations because I love vacations as well. I see you guys are cruisers. Mike
Yeah.
and I have been on a few cruises and we love the beach. I live in Ohio, by the way,
Oh, nice. Okay. A
and
Buckeye state.
and so I found myself like either missing out on stuff or going and then just going off my diet and kind of going off the rails, and it was messing with my body and my mind.
Yeah.
And then so this summer I had started to hear about people who had lost weight with the GLP-1s, and I
Mhm.
was interested in it. So I went to my family doctor and he was very enthusiastic about them.
Oh, great.
Uh, and when I weighed in at the doctor's office in July, I weighed in at 181, and I consider that my GLP-1 start weight.
Sure.
Um, and he prescribed, oh, so by the way, I also have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, acid reflux, all the
Oh,
stress disorders you could possibly have.
okay.
My BMI was 31, and they did my A1C for the first time, and it was 5.7, which was on the threshold of being pre-diabetic. So I was pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
So he prescribed me Zepbound, and I had hope that my insurance would cover it, given all those factors, but
Yeah.
of course it didn't.
Ah,
So I started looking into other options. I started out with a telehealth company um, called Bright Meds. They were a great company, and you got $200 off your first month, which made it 375. But I knew following that it was going to jump to 575. So I needed to figure something else out.
yeah.
And so I switched companies. I go to Orderly Meds now. But I got my first bottle. So I ordered it, right? I did the whole, sign up, doctor, virtual doctor visit and
Right.
stuff. Well, because I'm a breast cancer survivor, I get monitored very closely. I go to the
Mm,
Cleveland Clinic,
okay.
and I usually have mammograms in August and MRI in February. And so the following year, my mammogram was fine. This past February, my MRI was fine. So I'm thinking I'm good. And I had had surgery and radiation back in the fall of 22,
Yeah.
which was not fun. Um, but so I go to this mammogram perfectly expecting it just to be like, "Oh, you're great."
Yeah.
They found something.
Oh, no.
And what I had the first time was calcifications, which
Mm,
are generally benign. They're like when you have your mammogram, it shows up as these like pinprick dots
uh-huh.
on the mammogram.
Uh-huh.
And when I had my mammogram this past August, they were back and they were in the same area.
Huh.
And so then I had to have another diagnostic mammogram.
Mhm.
And I dealt with a doctor I had actually dealt with a couple of years prior to that, who, in all my experience with everybody at the Cleveland Clinic, she was the only person who was unkind, like just a
Oh,
very blunt, not nice person.
aw.
And so I had my diagnostic mammogram, and she said, "Well, it looks the same. It's in the same area. You have to have a biopsy." Now, I did mention my daughter got married September 14th, right?
Yeah.
200-person wedding. I'm mother of the bride.
Oh, gee.
My biopsy was the Tuesday before her wedding.
Uh,
And I was completely convinced. Now, mind you, I had started on my Tirzepatide journey. My box came the same day as I got the mammogram where they said they found something. So this first month on these GLP-1s, if anything, I appreciate the distraction because it gave me something to think about that wasn't breast cancer. So
yeah.
I went ahead and did it, but I was not really in a good frame of mind. I wasn't focusing on the things I needed to focus on. I mean, my appetite was less.
Yeah.
But I was almost paralyzed that month,
Yeah, of
and
course.
um, so I kind of count my journey as starting after I heard the news. So September 13th, the Friday of my daughter's rehearsal dinner, which I had taken off for her wedding, I got a call and I knew I was expecting it. And
Mhm.
the lady starts talking and I'm waiting for her to say cancer. And I'm in my mind, my whole fall was going to be double mastectomy. I mean it,
Treatments, yeah.
and she said it was benign.
Oh
And
my god, oh god. Yeah.
I burst into tears. And
Oh,
I'm sobbing to this poor lady and I'm like, my daughter's getting married tomorrow. you know?
oh my gosh.
Um, and so we got through that, and her wedding was beautiful, and I was able to enjoy it. And now I feel like I'm finally focusing on my health journey. Um,
Yeah.
I was a little all over the place the first month.
Oh,
So
of course, that sounds like such a and your birthday was in September, I think you said too, and so
September
you had
6th, yeah. So actually I had titrated up to 5, and I generally take my shots on Thursdays.
uh-huh.
And my birthday was on a Friday this year, and we planned to go to Ohio wine country.
Oh,
And we did, my daughter and my boyfriend, Mike, we went to Ohio wine country. And I really didn't eat a lot or even really drink that much. But of course, you're taste testing and things like
Yeah.
that. I'm like, I didn't have a single side effect on 2.5. Boy, did I have some side effects after that. Uh,
Yeah. What
so
happened?
I learned the hard way that, you got to be careful with alcohol and food that isn't necessarily good for you. Um, but um, so I'm still on 5 milligrams, although I get my Tirzepatide comes from Red Rock Pharmacy,
Yeah.
and they give a little bit more in the vial. And before, I'm getting ahead of myself. So my boyfriend Mike and I like to travel. I know you and Christopher do as well, right?
We do. Yeah, we do.
And so we had a Vegas trip planned,
Ooh,
um,
Vegas.
and we went October 5th through the 10th. And it's the first vacation in my life that I lost weight on.
Oh, yay.
I mean, it's not a lot, but I didn't gain, and
That's awesome. Yeah. So,
so
were you just not eating and maybe drinking so much
so
or
so I did take I was debating. So
yeah.
before my daughter's wedding, I skipped the shot on Thursday and took it on Sunday.
Okay.
And then I slowly went like every 6 days until I got back to Thursday.
Okay.
And so I did decide to go ahead and take my shot before Vegas. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I decided to just take 4 milligrams.
Okay.
And that was from my new vial from Red Rock. And so when I got back from Vegas, we got back on a Thursday. I knew I had that extra milligram. So I
Yeah.
went ahead and because I felt like the food noise and things was starting to come back.
Yeah.
And so I took 6. And then last Thursday, I took 6.5. And then to finish out that vial, I think it's going to probably be another 6.5. And then I'll start my new vials. Well, when the whole scare happened, when they took Tirzepatide off the FDA shortage list,
Yeah.
and of course I'm like, this is just my luck.
Yeah. I
Let
just
me get
started. Yeah.
started, and they take it off shortage
Yeah.
list. Um, but anyway, so I ordered 2 vials, and I'll start at 7.5 in 2 weeks, so a little
Okay.
less than 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I weighed myself Friday morning,
Uh-huh.
and now, mind you, I feel like my first month I was kind of
Out of it.
out
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
And but I've lost 12.5 in 9 weeks.
Wow,
So,
that's awesome.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's and the nice thing is that, and I don't know how you feel, but like I said before, when I was trying to do different diets, I would feel very restricted. And like if I went someplace, I wasn't going to have fun because I wasn't going to be able to eat or drink
Yeah. Poor
and
me. Poor me. Pity party for
yeah,
party of one. Yeah.
and so that's probably the biggest difference for me, um, is to be able to know that I'm going to go someplace. I'm not going to overeat. I'm not going to overeat or overdrink,
Yeah.
and it's working. And I feel freedom is what I feel. I think
Yeah, the
freedom is
freedom around
the word.
food, it's amazing. Yeah, you can eat pretty much whatever you want as long as you don't overdo it,
Right.
as long as you, stop when you're full, like, what a concept, right? Like, I never knew to stop when I was full before. Never was full before. So yeah, so did you have any side effects? I mean, I guess that first month you're kind of not really focused on it,
Right.
but any
Not on
side
the
effects you had?
2.5. I didn't have any on the 2.5. When I
Okay.
switched to 5, and we talked about my birthday, so,
Yeah.
I felt a little nauseous for a few days after that trip,
Yeah.
um, but then it kinda evened out. I've been pretty lucky. I haven't gotten sick. I've had some constipation, and, I see that you recommend Mag 7. I haven't tried that. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about ordering that.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's been my main side effect is I do some fiber gummies daily,
I got some of those.
some Mago 7 when it's been about 3 days and nothing's happening, that seems
Mhm.
to start the
Right.
process again. But yeah, yeah, I just feel like I have to keep on top of it, just even
Yeah.
now a year
Right.
into it. So that's just gonna be how I am.
And
So
I've
yeah.
had some mild nausea, but nothing, nothing that would prevent me from going to work or doing
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Um, And usually if I got some electrolytes, if I drink that, then I feel fine.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I agree.
I'm curious.
Electrolytes usually just make me feel better. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
just mental or or
Yeah.
what they do.
Well,
Yeah.
a couple of my subscribers, because I did a video where I showed, I tried drip drop electrolytes because
Okay.
I had a hard time finding ones that I could stomach. Like some of
Oh,
them I just didn't like. I have not tried Element. I know that one's one that people recommend. Nor
yeah,
have I tried Liquid IV, which I've also heard is pretty good.
yeah,
Um, but I just Googled best tasting electrolytes and
yeah.
it came up, so I ordered some,
Yeah,
and they were okay.
I've tried the Liquid IV. I think we got some at maybe Walmart or something like that, and it was okay. I've tried the Element. They're super salty, like
That's what I heard, and that's the part I don't like.
super salty. Like I sent the information to my mom and she's like, "Do you drink this every day? This is a lot of sodium." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, mom, the feelings on sodium are different now than it was in the 80s." Like, but anyway, yeah, so there's definitely a lot out there. You can definitely find one that works for you at any price range or flavor. Or there's
Yeah.
tons now, so that's great. Yeah.
But, like, my subscribers are like, "Well, why are you drinking electrolytes? What does it do for you?" And I'm like, "Well, I heard it helps, so I just tried it." And it does. It does.
Yeah, I feel like, trying all these different diets, I'll try anything. You know what I mean? Like I've tried everything. Why not try a GLP-1? Why
Right.
not try like yeah,
Yeah. I
same with
even
all
did
these
an
diets.
egg fast, like, 6 months ago. I think I lasted 2 days. I mean, there's only so many eggs you can eat.
Only eggs for how
I
oh
don't know.
gosh.
I was supposed to do it, like, 5 days. I lasted 2, but
Oh,
yeah, no,
wow.
I'll try anything as well.
Yeah, that's tough. Any food I did one where it was, the cabbage soup diet. Did you ever do that one? So
Oh, yeah. Well, do you remember in Weight Watchers way back when they had that garden soup that was 0 point?
yes. I made
Similar
that
concept.
all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, big batch of vegetables,
yeah,
0 point vegetable soup.
right,
You can eat all you want. Yeah, so I'm,
right.
like, eating it, like, every day,
Yeah,
twice a day, like, how much of this can I eat? Like, it's 0 points. I can eat as
yeah.
much as I want. Well,
There's a
it's,
lot of cabbage in that soup.
yeah. Yeah. Anytime any food elimination diet, always backfires on me. Like, you tell me I can only eat eggs, I want anything but eggs. You tell me
Right.
I can't have bread, that's all I want is bread. So, uh, I think the freeing thing about these GLP-1s is I don't have to eliminate anything. I just make better choices and less less portion size. So,
Right, right. And I do try to focus on protein. I've heard a lot about muscle loss
yeah.
and that, is not just with GLP-1s. I have a very good friend who lost 90 pounds in
Mm,
2023 by drastically reducing her calories and doing exercise. And she's in her 60s and she
wow.
looks fabulous. But right now she's being treated by a doctor because he said that she'd lost so much muscle mass
Oh,
that her muscles didn't support her frame. And so she's, been eating a lot of Greek yogurt and things like that. And I just know I want to lose ultimately about 50 pounds. I'd like to get around 130 again. Um,
yeah.
and and I know, if I do that, I don't want I want my muscles to be able to support my skeletal system.
Of
So,
course, of course.
you know,
So what are you doing to that? And do you count grams of protein or talk to me about
um,
what your food looks
I
like?
do. I kind of I'm not rigid because, and I don't know how you feel after dieting for so many years. This is sort of like a break. I don't have to count every single calorie. I
Yeah,
can try to make good food choices and healthy diet, but I don't have to be so precise. And I like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But I try to do between 80 and 100 grams of protein.
yeah.
Uh,
That's about
I
right.
I started doing collagen in my coffee in the morning. Now,
Oh,
I have been informed that the protein in collagen is not the
not the
same
same.
as protein from food or even a protein powder. Uh,
Yeah,
but I am hoping I haven't experienced any hair loss yet. I have heard that's a side effect, and I'm slightly worried about that. But and then you hear a lot about Ozempic face.
yeah.
which I don't have, but yet. But I'm hoping that the collagen will help with, hair, skin,
Yeah,
and nails.
I I've, uh, I've bought some collagen and I've taken collagen, I've taken biotin. When I got about halfway through, when I got to about 30 pounds down, I noticed my hair was coming out more, and I used to have a lot of hair. I still kinda have a lot of hair, I guess, but, um and I think that's just kind of a part of any weight loss journey. I think people tend to report that. So, but I think I feel like the collagen should help, biotin should help. I'm not a doctor, I don't know. But, I don't mind taking, a supplement if I think it's gonna, you know, help in one way or the other.
Right.
So, I've always taken a multivitamin. I've always,
Yeah.
so it's what's one more
Right.
supplement?
So yeah, I bought some multivitamin. I like gummies. Um,
Yeah.
I if I mentioned before, I'm high blood pressure, high cholesterol, acid reflux. I've
Ugh.
got my whole and I'm on tamoxifen for breast cancer.
Oh, wow,
So
okay.
I have a whole slew of pills that I have to take, and
Yeah.
so I chew my vitamins. I get the gummies.
Yeah.
So I
Does
do fiber
the
gummies and
does the tamoxifen, restrict you from doing any other kind of supplements or anything like that?
no, it so when I started it in the fall of 22,
Uh-huh.
I had been on Wellbutrin for anxiety, and that contraindicates.
Huh.
So I actually just weaned myself off of that. I'm not on any
Oh,
type of antidepressant or anti-anxiety right now, and it's
interesting.
fine. Um,
Okay.
but you have to be careful. For example, I took my family to Hawaii in September of 23,
Uh-huh.
and they told me to not take tamoxifen a week before and don't restart it until a week after because of the long plane ride. It's about a
Huh.
10-hour plane ride from Ohio, and you can get blood clots. It increases
Huh.
your blood clots.
Wow, okay.
And the other thing, I'm curious. Now, I have not investigated this, but um, I think her name is Candace, the T on GLP ones. Um,
Uh-huh.
she did a video last week or the week before. I think it was her. It might have been the Countess of Shopping. I'm not sure. I get confused. But one of them said it might have been the Countess of Shopping, and I hear both of them are going to be coming on your channel.
We do
So,
have, I think both of them scheduled at this point. So yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but anyway, she saw a study that people with doing cancer treatment drugs
Yeah.
are slower responders. You lose weight
Huh.
more slowly. And
Mhm.
and that could be. I mean, I certainly haven't had any rapid weight loss, but then, I had a wedding and then I had a vacation, and I'll take 12 and a half pounds, I
It
suppose.
sounds like you're doing great to me. Like, I mean, I think that's, 12 pounds and what I think you said 9 weeks?
9 weeks, yeah.
So it's a little bit more than a pound a week. I mean, I think that's, especially considering everything else you had going on in your life. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you're doing great. So, yeah, I always wonder, with other drugs, how a GLP-1 might interact with different medications. I'm not a doctor, so I'm just,
Right.
just curious. So it's interesting about the blood clots and the tamoxifen. So
Yeah.
guess it's something to keep in mind. But so yeah. So does your uh I guess your primary care provider knows about the GLP-1 and your all your history.
Yes. So I'm continuing to stay with him. I don't know what's going to happen in this world of compounded Tirzepatide.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to keep a close relationship with my doctor so that if I need to be prescribed Semaglutide or something somewhere down the road, that he's there. But he
Yeah.
has me come in every month and weigh in and get my blood pressure checked.
Okay.
And the last time was the lowest I've seen my blood pressure in a
Huh.
super long time.
Oh, good.
Um, so who knows? I might be able to get off blood pressure medication. And
Yeah.
then I see him every 3 months. So I'm going on November 15th, actually. And so with everything I had going on and being a breast cancer survivor, I wanted to make sure to keep my doctor in the loop.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Christopher, my husband Christopher, uh, had high blood pressure and high cholesterol, and he's been able to cut his blood pressure medicine in half. I think he's actually gonna be able to stop it altogether at some point, coming up here soon, and the high cholesterol has definitely come down, so, um, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd much rather be on a GLP-1 than
Right, right.
high blood pressure med, so hopefully that'll be the same for you as you continue on. So, yeah.
Well,
Um, no,
I
go
just
ahead.
wanted to add one more thing about
Yeah,
the breast cancer. So
yeah,
when I went through that and I talked to the doctors and everything 2 years ago, um, and I was talking about at that point in time, I had lost the 25 pounds. So I was talking
yeah.
about that diet program, but the doctor said the number one thing that I could do to prevent breast cancer recurrence was to achieve a healthy body weight. The
Wow.
number one thing. And and it's funny because when I was searching for a different telehealth company because I didn't want to spend the 575,
Yeah,
I initially applied with Roe. Have you heard
yeah,
of that one?
yeah,
And they set up a virtual visit. And when I mentioned the breast cancer 2 years ago, they're like, "Oh well, we can't and if you have any, throw it out." I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not going to do that. But I just figure if and
uh-huh,
I when I went for my checkup in August to the breast center in Cleveland, I
yeah,
told them I was starting Tirzepatide, and
yeah.
they were perfectly fine. So I'm if my family doctor and my breast cancer doctor are okay with it, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely, absolutely. I think a lot of the telehealth maybe just don't know, and so I'm absolutely certain your breast cancer health providers and your doctors know what's best for you. So I think it's always good to just be very open with your doctors and tell them all the medicines that you're taking because um, I, you just don't want something to mix
right,
and cause a
right,
problem. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, okay. Alright, well, good. So I'm glad I'm glad that you were able to do both, I guess, the breast cancer treatments and the
Yeah.
GLP-1s. So, yeah, okay. Um, let's see, uh, let's see. We're talking about muscle, keeping the muscle, eating protein. Are you doing any exercise to that end to try to keep the muscle?
So, so before August, I had started working out again, mostly
Mhm.
walking.
Yeah.
But I also started revisiting some of my favorite exercise videos are now on YouTube. You can
Oh,
find some old '90s Denise Austin videos, and
she's still around, by the way. I just found her the
she's
other day.
fabulous.
Yeah, she
Um,
looks just the same. It's
I
crazy.
know she's in her 60s. I'm like,
Yeah,
but so I was doing that, and when I got that diagnosis and I was convinced that I was looking at a whole
yeah.
another course of treatment, I did kind of shut down. And
Yeah,
so
understandable.
after my daughter's wedding, I've been walking again. And if I'm home, if I walk at home, I've got a treadmill, I've got a rebounder, a mini trampoline.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I'll jog on that, watching
Uh-huh.
TV sometimes. But I have hand weights, and I'll just, not really heavy ones. They're
Yeah,
threes and fives, depending on what I'm feeling like,
yeah.
and I'll just keep those going while I walk, and I feel like that'll help because one of the places I'm noticing like the crepey skin is in the arms. I hate that.
Arms. Yeah, I've got that. I've got that crepey skin in the arm. So yeah, I even went to the dermatologist not too long ago. I said, "Can you do anything? Is there anything I can do about this short of
Mhm.
surgery?" And she's like, "Nope." I'm like, ah. Well, I bought all these creams and things to try, and she's like, no. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'd rather be 50 pounds down and have crepey skin. That's just going to be how it is. So yeah, so yeah, that's great with the light weights, the 3 and the 5 pound, the walking. Do you count your steps or have any
I
kind
have
of?
I have an Apple Watch, so
Yeah,
I try to keep track. I aim for 7,500 to 10,000.
Yeah.
When I was in Las Vegas, I was averaging about 17,000 steps a day, so that was good.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why I didn't gain any weight.
Yeah. For sure.
Um,
In
but
Vegas, everything looks close because it's big, and then you start
yeah,
walking, and it's really far
not
away.
big. Right, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
So
was
the
fun. And I'm
yeah.
not a gambler, but on the last day in Vegas, I put $20 in a machine, and on my third spin, I hit $165. So I cashed out immediately.
Yes, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, occasionally when we're on a cruise, we'll go through the casino and I'll beat that boom and I'm like, "Oh, I won $25. Let's keep going. Oh, I won $50. Let's keep going." And then 5 minutes later, I'm back to 0. So I'm like,
Yeah,
"Okay." That's
I
good to
can't.
stop when you're ahead.
Yeah, I
Get
don't like
get it right.
I don't like losing money.
Yeah, no. Well, I imagine with, working full time, has it been hard for you to, like, get the exercise in and,
Yeah,
get
it
that
can
in?
be.
Yeah.
Because I have a house. My boyfriend. It's weird calling a 60-year-old man a boyfriend. I'm sorry, but little secret, I think we're going to probably be getting engaged in the next few months. So
Oh, that'd be great.
I
Yeah,
picked
that's
out a ring,
delightful. Yeah. Well, then
but
you have a goal, like
yeah, but for the time being, it's just me taking care of the house. It's me
yeah,
grocery shopping.
yeah,
It's me cleaning and me trying to do everything. And
yeah.
I have this 25-year-old son who lives at home. He doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. He'll take the garbage out. He'll do
Alright.
specific things if I ask him to,
Yeah,
but yeah, he
yeah.
just doesn't see it.
Yeah, yeah, I have to be very specific with my 18 and 20-year-old daughters, and I have a 26-year-old son too. But yeah, things don't bother them
No,
like they bother me. Like, I come downstairs when they've both gone to college, but, the dishes and
right.
and I have to say, "Hey, take your dish to the sink or put it in the dishwasher." Like, but
Yeah. I keep
that's
his bedroom door closed because I
yeah,
just don't even wanna know.
that's
And
probably best.
I was telling Mike, I'm missing, like 5 dinner plates. I'm
They're
like,
under his bed.
I'm afraid to go in his room and
Yeah.
look for them.
With probably you're missing spoons too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, "Where have all my spoons gone? Where are all my Tupperware like, where's all this?" Anyway, we're getting off
But,
the
yeah,
subject, but
so I'm busy
anywho.
and I'm trying, and, like we mentioned, I do have a YouTube channel. I started
Yeah.
it in February of 2023 doing the Optavia diet, and then I think I briefly did Weight Watchers for a little while, then got back on Optavia, but since the beginning of the summer, I went back. I decided I couldn't do it anymore. It was
Mhm.
just too structured, and
Yeah.
and and anyways, so I went back to Weight Watchers and started doing my videos with Weight Watcher points and calories. And I'm
Yeah.
still doing that. And then I added the Tirzepatide, but I'm
Yeah.
trying to do at least 2 videos a week, which again, you at least have Christopher and you guys
I
work
do.
at home. I'm,
Yeah.
trying to film this stuff and
Yeah.
edit and get it
Yeah.
up and
A
work. And
lot. Yeah,
yeah,
no, it's definitely a lot. With the Weight Watchers, have you switched your app to the
I did.
GLP-1 side? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
Did
still
you?
yes, and I didn't know this. Somebody told me this last week. Now on the GLP-1 side, you can see the points.
Yeah, I did
And
notice you can see the points.
yeah, I was like, "Oh," because when I first started, my GLP-1, I was doing Weight Watchers, and when they introduced the GLP-1, it was only counting the grams of protein. And so
Okay.
I was like, "Yay, I don't have to count points anymore. I'm never counting points again." And so now that they put the points back on the app, I was like, "Really, Weight Watchers? Like, why you gotta do this to me?" So do you count your points and your protein, or how are you
So,
managing that?
uh, being perfectly honest,
Yeah.
when I'm videotaping, I do
Okay.
because I have, a lot of well, not a lot of subscribers. I think I have like 1,200 subscribers, but a good portion of them are from the Optavia days who have kind of
Oh,
held on.
yeah,
And a lot of them are Weight Watcher people. So I want to keep
yeah,
the Weight Watcher points and calories
yeah,
when I post stuff. I do a
yeah.
lot of like what I eat in a day and that kind of thing, and new recipes. And then I just it kind of evolved into this like just me sharing my life kind of thing, you know.
Mhm.
So like I did a little recap of my Vegas trip
Oh,
on one of
fun,
my
yeah.
videos, and it was funny. I got accosted by a giant gorilla on
I hate when that happens.
I know. So that's in the video. But
Oh,
anyway,
fun,
um,
fun, yeah. No, I can see where your viewers would definitely still wanna know the points and the calories. I we get that sometimes, and I don't I've just decided that I'm not gonna count points anymore. I haven't counted calories, and I don't think I've really ever counted calories. It's always pretty much been points. I did count points for years and years. But yeah, I just decided I'm just gonna focus on grams of protein, and
yeah.
I'm not
But
doing
on
it
the days I'm
anymore.
not taping, I
Yeah,
generally don't.
yeah.
And I don't know how your day goes, but I can't eat big meals. Um,
No.
I have my collagen and my coffee in the morning
Yeah.
and go to work. And a lot of times, then I don't really have a breakfast, so to speak, but maybe around 11, if I have time, I'll have a Chobani zero sugar yogurt or something like that.
Mhm.
I eat a lot of cottage cheese. Um,
Sorry.
you either like cottage cheese or you don't, but I like it.
Yeah, okay, that's good protein. It's good
Right.
protein source. Yeah,
Hard-boiled eggs to snack on.
yeah,
I have, some Premier Protein drinks. I
I love
have,
those.
Premier Protein vanilla powder, and,
Uh-huh.
um, and I know Christopher has done some recipes on this. I just got a Ninja Creamy for my birthday,
Ooh,
so I've been
ooh,
experimenting with a lot, of recipes for that.
yeah,
So,
we love our Ninja Creamy. I think we did one video, with the making a protein ice cream.
yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that was a great, breakthrough for me because I love ice cream, and so we can't even bring it in the house really because we don't even bring it in the house anymore, but this is like a nice treat that we
Yeah.
can do, and, I don't feel bad about it because it's has a lot of protein.
How did you
So,
make your protein ice cream?
we use, what's that milk, Christopher? That m Fairlife milk because it
Fairlight.
has a higher protein
Right,
count.
right. I just got some of that.
Yeah, and then we, put, chocolate protein powder. We just happen to get ours at Aldi. I
Mhm.
just like that one. Then we'll do a tablespoon of, sugar-free Jello pudding mix,
Yeah,
put
yeah.
in it, and pinch of salt. I think that's it. Did I forget anything, Christopher? That's it. And so, and the key is like to make sure it is completely frozen overnight. You
Right,
can't
right,
just put it in the morning and take it out at night. You really have to have that like a full, almost 24-hour, like hard frozen.
right,
And then getting the adjustment right. I think a lot of times we'll do the light ice cream setting or
right.
my daughter uses the sorbet setting a lot.
Oh, I
And
haven't done that.
sometimes yeah, and sometimes it comes out and it's grainy. You have to add a little bit more liquid into it and
Right,
just
right.
respin it until it gets to where you want it. I've also tried to do it with just almond milk instead of Fairlife, and it doesn't come out as good.
Wow.
I was trying to make it like really low calorie, high protein.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
there's just some kind of balance there with the milk and the that little bit of, fat. I think we used the 2% milk, so it just kinda helps it all bind
Have
together. But yeah, we love, love, love our Ninja Creamy, so have fun with that.
have you tried doing a protein shake with 1 tablespoon of the sugar-free Jello pudding? That's
Yeah,
all you have to do, and then it goes in the Ninja Creamy?
yeah, protein shake, protein powder. Oh, you mean like the ready to drink shake?
Yeah, I had a Quest
Ah.
salted caramel shake. I just poured it
Oh.
in there, added a tablespoon of vanilla sugar-free pudding,
Uh-huh.
and froze it, for 24 hours,
Ooh.
and it was really good. And then but I'll tell you my best recipe, and it's not high protein,
Yeah, what's that?
and it's on my videos,
Yeah.
if you Google it, but Mike is lactose intolerant. So
Okay.
the first time I experimented, I didn't do that on the video. I used a Premier Protein chocolate peanut butter shake,
Uh-huh.
and I gave some to Mike, which he, ate, and I didn't realize how much lactose was in the Premier
Oh,
Protein.
yeah.
He
That's
was
all whey protein.
so I found a recipe using light coconut milk in the can,
Oh.
and peanut butter and sugar. It used real sugar, and you kind of um, got it simmering for a while, and then you froze that. And I added Reese cups and chopped up peanuts with as a
Ooh,
mix in the next day.
ooh.
That was the best ice cream I think I've ever had.
Anything with
So
Reese's Cups, you had me
yeah,
at Reese's.
it's not healthy though. So
Yeah. Well, you know what? I find that if I want something, even, now being on GLP-1s for a year, I still like Halloween candy. Like I still and I can have like a piece and it's
right,
fine. I don't feel compelled to eat the whole bag. you know. So,
right,
yeah, and moderation. And it's the same thing with I think you were talking about before with the diets that were very restrictive. It doesn't have to be all or nothing.
right.
That's the thing about GLP-1s. It's not all or nothing. You can figure out what works for you and what foods work for you, what things work for you, and kind of personalize it to your
Yeah.
life, really.
I
So,
do have a question.
yeah,
Ask you guys who've been on this for a while. I have only given myself a shot in the stomach. I switch sides
yeah.
every week, but I am afraid to do my thighs and my arms. What are your thoughts on that subject?
Okay, so yeah, I am a big stomach only person. I've done all of my shots, and I do try to like go around in a
Like around the
circle.
clock? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
So, and you might want to keep track of like left side, right side, up, down.
Mhm.
But I have done 2 shots in the top of my thigh. It just, I don't know. I don't feel like I have as much fat there.
Right.
And
I don't either.
yeah. So I really was trying to like, and I felt like the top of my thigh did not really have much fat. So when I did the shots there, I mean, it was fine. I was really worked up about it and upset about it, and then I did it, and it was fine. And I didn't really notice a difference, or it didn't make me
I was just
feel.
gonna ask.
Yeah, some people report if they're in a stall, it helps them break a stall, or if they feel more appetite suppressant in the back of their arm versus their stomach. Or
Yeah.
so I do encourage people to experiment with it and see what works best for you. Keep a log,
Yeah,
make
I know
notes.
you say you did that, and I haven't. I really need to start doing that.
You can just, start where you're at and just keep track of it because and people report different side effects with different
I've
locations
heard that, which
too.
I don't understand it, but,
I
um
don't either. I think it's all in the way of the amount of fat. You want to inject it into fat.
right,
So if you hit muscle or something in your arm, it's gonna feel different.
right.
Christopher did one in his arm, and I think he hit muscle, and he just said it hurt. He didn't
Yeah.
like it.
Well,
So
with the syringe, I think it's hard to do your arm,
yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
If I had the pen maybe and I was just pressing a button, that'd be one thing, but,
yeah. Or if you
um
have somebody who can, give you the shot.
yeah,
Yeah, Christopher, I think he went like that,
okay.
put it that
Then he
anyway.
got it into muscle. One girl I
Yeah.
saw, a YouTuber said she propped her arm up, like, on a table. What am I doing here?
Uh-huh.
And,
Uh-huh.
like, had the piece sticking out, like, a little
Yeah.
bit, and then went around and did it. But
Yeah. There's
but
there's
then I'm only
definitely
gonna yeah,
there's definitely, ways. I don't know. Now I'm just really used to doing it in my stomach, so
I am too. That's
I
my I'm not afraid like, the first time I tried to
yeah.
give myself a shot, and you said you were a little squeamish about it too,
Yeah, for
but,
sure. Like the
I mean,
first 10 times.
that so like I said, I had that bad mammogram. I come home, I have my box, So the next day, I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna try this." And my hands were shaking so bad,
Oh, oh,
I'm trying to load the syringe.
oh, no.
But after that, once I actually did it and
Yeah.
realized it really wasn't that bad and it really didn't hurt,
Yeah.
um, So that's like my comfort spot now is just the stomach. It's just
I
easier.
mean, every shot from now on should be all downhill for you from that stressful situation, to
Yeah,
now. So it can only get better. Yeah, I had to have Christopher give me my first couple shots because I couldn't bring myself to do it. And even now, like even a year later, I'm like, okay, it's shot day. Okay, I have to,
yeah,
I have to kind of mentally prepare myself. But it's not bad. And when you see the results add up over time, yeah, absolutely. I'll give myself a shot in the stomach forever if it means I can keep this weight off and feel this
right.
good all the time. Um, so yeah, but it is definitely can be a little squeamish at
Yeah.
first. So yeah, what does your boyfriend say about the whole GLP-1? Does he understand it, or what does he say?
Well, I've talked to him a lot about it, and it's funny. I'm actually going to put up a video tomorrow,
Uh-huh.
Monday. So this will probably air after that, so it'll probably already be up. But at the
Yeah.
very end, I make him taste test everything, all my recipes. I
Nice.
and so I made Weight Watchers cream cheese pumpkin protein muffins. Um,
Ooh.
so wait for that video. But they turned out really good. And so I made him taste test. And then while
Uh-huh.
I had him, I said, "So, what do you think about my current weight loss journey?" And
Yeah.
he, of course, now right before I switched to Weight Watchers, there's another video, and if you look on it, it says, "He said what?" So sometimes he says things without thinking. But I was trying to find a mother of the bride dress, right? The end
Yeah.
of spring, beginning of summer. And I had ordered online, and a lot of them are made overseas and run small, right?
Small, yeah.
So I had ordered one, and I tried it on, and the sleeves were really, really tight.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it zipped up. And
Ah.
yeah, so I come downstairs and I'm all depressed, and I said, "So, do you think I'm fat?" And
Oh,
he said, "Well, yeah." And I was like,
he
"What?
said, "What?" Boyfriend said, "What?
You're supposed to make me feel better. I know I'm fat. You're not supposed to think I'm fat."
What? Oh,
So we went
no."
So this morning we actually shot the his taste test of the pumpkin muffins, and he said I looked incredible. And then
Oh,
I asked him what he thought about this versus when I was doing, say, Optavia, and he
yeah.
said that it and I said I really feel like it's given me freedom, and he goes, "It's given me a lot of freedom too," because now he's not restricted, just
Ah, right, right, right.
but like he
Yeah.
has some good friends, and he has two friends that are recently going through divorces, so they're going out and they're doing all kinds of stuff. And I wouldn't often not want to go out because I
Yeah.
knew, like, if I went out to the bar, what am I going to do? I'm not drinking, I'm not
Yeah.
eating.
Yeah.
This is not going to be fun.
Party with my glass of club soda over here.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to navigate those situations for sure. So did you end up just avoiding them, or what did you
I
do?
did a lot of times,
Yeah.
or I would go off of it, and that's how I kept gaining and losing the same 20
Oh.
pounds.
Oh.
I'd be good, and I don't know how you are, but I could usually be good for, like, 3 to 4 weeks, like,
Yep.
just spot on,
Yep.
lose, like, I mean, in 3 to 4 weeks, I have lost, like, 12 pounds then, doing strict
Yeah.
dieting.
Yeah.
Um, but then I ultimately something will happen. um I am a wine drinker. I will be the first to profess that.
Yeah.
Um, and so when stressful things happen or good things happen, I like to have a glass of wine. Well, it's not allowed on that diet. So
Oh.
so if I had a glass of wine, then I'm like, well, I screwed up now. Might as
Just wasted
well,
my whole
you
week.
know,
Yeah.
have two more. Have some cheese
Oh,
and
yeah.
crackers to go with that.
Yeah, those restrictive diets are so hard because who can yeah, yeah, same. I would go on those. I'd be really good for a couple weeks, really, really good.
Yeah.
It's funny how we characterize eating with really good or
or really bad.
really bad, or, and that's so like so crazy.
It's a
It's food.
terrible mindset, and
Food
I'm
can't be
so
good
glad
or bad.
you're done with it.
Somebody mentioned to me they just call it instead of healthy food, they call it I'm eating more nutritious food.
Okay.
I'm nourishing my body. So it's yeah, I could be really good for a couple weeks, and then yeah, we'd go out for dinner, or we'd go on vacation, or something would happen, and then I was like, yep. Well, I might as well keep going. I'm not
Yep,
going to go back to Weight Watchers this week. Yeah, I think I'm
yep.
just going to quit for a while. Yeah, I'm up 20 pounds.
Well, isn't it
So,
funny how you don't wanna go to the Weight Watchers meetings when you've gained weight?
nope,
It's like
I did
it's
not want that little lady looking at me
I
saying,
know.
"Oh, you're up."
I would try to talk myself into it. I'm like, "They don't care. They don't
They
care if
don't.
you gained 5 pounds."
They
But
don't.
it's so funny. You go there to lose weight, but you're embarrassed to go if you've gained. It's so
Yeah,
silly.
and I would do it. I figured out all kinds of tricks too. Like, uh, like I also figured out you could go to the meeting and not weigh in. So sometimes I'd go and not weigh in and think,
Right,
oh, I'll
right,
make it up the next week. Well, the next week would come and I would still be up. And then I was like, well, do I want to, it just was a never ending cycle of, rinse and repeat. I wasn't getting anywhere. It wasn't
right.
serving me. It wasn't helping me. So yeah, the only time I've had consistent weight loss really is with these GLP-1 medications. And it's been uh, when Christopher and I were in the middle of it, we'd wake up in the morning and I'd be like, "How'd you do?" He's like, "I'm down a pound." He's like, I'm down a pound too. This is like crazy. This is like magic. I mean, when we were doing the work, we were, eating smaller portions and,
Yeah,
all that, but it was just kind of like, this works.
it does. It's been consistent, and, with all the stress that happened to me that month between
Yeah.
August 14th to September 13th, had I not been on I mean, it was 2.5, but it was still something. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure I would have eaten and drank my emotions, and I would have been and I did end up finding a Mother of the Bride dress.
Oh,
That's
good.
one of the videos too, it was very sparkly.
Oh, good.
Um,
Good.
those are all ahead of you, but
Okay.
it's very fun. But yeah, I wanted to lose weight, not gain weight, and I did end up
Yeah.
I was down about almost 10 pounds by the time, my daughter's name's Mandy, her, wedding, so that was good. I mean, I wasn't where I wanted to be, but, it was better than nothing.
You know what? Given your situation, I mean, just, you did great. It sounds like you did great. So you're really just getting started
I am.
with this journey. Do you have any thoughts going forward? Like, do you have any, like, how much I think you said you want to lose 50 total, or what did
Yeah,
you?
50 total.
Yeah. So,
So,
do you have any, I know a lot of times on Weight Watchers, I'd put a timeline to my, I want to lose this much by Christmas.
of
I want to
course.
lose this much. Do you still have that now, or are you more relaxed?
I did for the wedding. Like, I
Yeah.
was definitely hoping to lose a certain amount, and my goal at that point,
Mhm.
being realistic, was 10 pounds, and
Yeah.
I almost met it.
Yeah.
But now I'm just kind of going forward and trying not to put myself in any type of time frame.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm necessarily a super slow responder, but I'm not uh, a
Super
super
fast.
high responder either.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like right in the middle,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping. And I kind of stalled. Now, mind you, I had the wedding. I went to Vegas,
Yeah.
but my weight loss really stalled. Her wedding was September 14th, and it's now October 20th when
Mhm.
this is being filmed. And I only managed to lose 2.5 pounds between then and now.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
so
not
I'm
terrible.
hoping when I titrate up to 7.5, maybe it'll kick in. And I don't have any big events or anything coming up. So I should be able to really get back into my exercise and nutritious eating. That's what I'm
Yeah.
missing.
Nutritious eating, right, indeed, yeah. Um, yeah, and, a lot of people don't necessarily go up every month? Have you had thoughts on that? Are you going to move up every month, or what's your thought?
Well, so one thing I haven't shared with on my channel, um, so when I went to my doctor's back in July, he
Hmm.
was so gung ho. He gave me an Ozempic pen, like just gave it to me. For the 2.5 doses, it comes with like little
Yeah.
needles. And so I had actually done 3 of those, but they did they did nothing um, for me. Like I
Oh,
didn't lose, I didn't feel anything
huh.
or it's 0.25. I think that's the dosage
Yeah,
for
I think you're right.
semaglutide.
Hmm.
And so I just completely switched over to Tirzepatide when I got that. But because I'd had a couple of those doses, I kind of felt like I had already started at the beginning level. So
Yeah,
I just did 3 Tirzepatide doses at 2.5.
2.5.
And then I
Uh-huh.
went up to 5.
Okay.
Um, and that's when I started feeling things kick in a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of experimenting with titrating up slowly.
Yeah.
Um, so I took 4 milligrams before Vegas. When I got back on October 10th, I took 6 because I
Hmm.
figured I had the one left over.
Yeah.
Um, and then last Thursday I did 6.5. And I really haven't felt a difference, but I'm hoping and I'll probably do another 6.5 and then I'll be in my 7.5 milligram vials. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping it won't be as drastic of like going from 2.5 to 5 was.
Yeah, I would say if you are dosing up really slowly like that, it hopefully it minimizes any side effects. You may not notice it as much because it's just such small increments, but
Right, right.
yeah. Oh, and again, I'm not a doctor. We're
Nor
not
am I,
doctors.
nor
Follow
am I.
your doctor's advice
And
on moving up and when it's time to move up and all that good stuff.
I didn't consult my doctor about this, so
Okay.
so there's that too. So don't do what I do. Consult your doctor.
Yeah, consult your doctor. Anything else you wanna add, Michelle? This has been a great conversation.
Yeah, I just love you guys.
Oh,
I
thanks.
found your channel just maybe a few weeks ago, and I've been watching all of your videos,
Oh,
and
thank you.
um, your guys are doing a great job.
Thank
And
you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You'll have to check back in with us when you get further
definitely,
along in your journey and let us know how and we'll check in on you on your YouTube channel again. Christopher, put our YouTube channel up again. That's me. But Michelle's channel is there name of the channel or is it just your name?
it's just at Michelle Nedwick. I wasn't very creative when I
Okay.
started it.
You know what? Sometimes simple is best. So, so go check out Michelle's channel at Michelle Nedwick on YouTube. And it's been great talking to you today, Michelle. Remember to join us. We have a live show every week. It's usually on Thursdays at 7 o'clock
At 7,
Eastern.
yep.
This week it'll be on Friday because we're
Oh,
traveling. It'll be on
okay.
Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern. So make sure you hit like and subscribe so you always get the updates and you know when we're going live.
I
If
always
you
do.
Yeah, thank you. If you'd like to be on the Downsized Dish, like Michelle just was here, you can email me. I have a new email address. It's Laraine at thedownsized.org, Laraine at thedownsized.org. I'll send you a link to our calendar, get you set up, and we'll just have a chat about what's going on and what you're doing on your GLP-1 journey. So please like and subscribe. Thank you, Michelle, for joining us today. It's been great talking with you.
Yes, it has. Thank you, Lorraine.
Thanks, guys, and thanks everybody for watching. This is Laraine Durham for The Downsized. Bye-bye.